All right. So our favorite conversation here. So Mr. Meyer had this comment last week at an event when he was asked what the salary cap. His response was, "It's a cap on player salaries." Meyer said, "Not a cap on the commissioner's salary, not a cap on the commissioner's private jet, not a cap on the owner's profits, not a cap on their franchise values. It holds down their labor costs. They want it because salary caps make their franchise values go up. Franchise values go up because the cap holds down the labor costs because it artificially suppresses salaries." So I ask you, Nick, and the rest of the tribe, what do you take from that comment from Mr. Meyer about the MLBPA's stance on a cap?
I mean, he's saying no cap, right? They clearly don't want it, obviously, but
Like the kids say, no cap.
No cap. They're not leaving this negotiation with a hard salary cap. There's no way. I think they hold out, and he's not wrong with this comment. By the way, he's not. We've talked about it all the time. Look at the NFL with the salary cap. These franchises are at record highs, right? So I mean, the owners are profiting. He's not wrong, but in the same breath, does the MLB need to do that to get these lower level teams profitable enough to spend? That's where I think the difference is, right? Like, you have to cap it to let the Pirates kind of catch up, let the Marlins catch up, let the Rockies catch up, insert bad organization or poor organization here, right? So I think that's what he's not necessarily looking at, is like, does it matter for the Dodgers? No. Does it matter for the Yankees? No. Red Sox? No. But these bottom level teams, like, a cap really does help them to hopefully spend more to get there. So that's where I'm at with it.
So here's one thing I want to point out. I want to get your take on this. At any point in this quote, and this was the direct quote, and everything he said after this was kind of similar, but does he mention baseball at any point in this?
Oh, no.
There's zero concern for the game and what's good for the game.
Right.
This is strictly players versus owners. The game of baseball be damned. It's just in the way. This is strictly the players versus the owners. And nobody cares about the actual game of baseball. That's my takeaway from this.
Yeah. Yeah, Curtis, winter is coming, and it's going to be a long winter for sure. 2027 is dead, 1,000%. I mean, this makes me feel like any preliminary talks aren't really going to matter. And you're probably not wrong, Chad. I hate that, but still think a cap is pointless without a floor. Floor is key. And I think the floor naturally comes in with the cap, right? I think it's just kind of part of the thing. We're just generalizing by saying cap, but we're with you 1,000%, Ryan. Like, okay, like if we're capping it off, like, we also have to prove, like you've said many times, Harrison, we still have to prove that money that was had is still available. So that means these teams have to spend to show that money is available. So
yeah, you got to keep the pool the same total. And right. Mike agrees with me in the chat over here. It's always players versus owner. It's never been about helping the game. And I think that's the biggest takeaway for me here, is that nobody cares about the game of baseball. This is not about the game. It's not about the fans. I mean, as a fan, I read what he says and I go, okay, but I don't care. I want baseball. Like, what are you doing to protect the game? Because if you guys screw this up again, it won't matter, because you're going to see salaries go down anyways.
Right.
When fans don't come back, and TV contracts are worth less, and ticket sales go down, and merchandise sales go down, and people lose interest in baseball. It's the MLBPA is so worried about the owners getting any more of the pie. And that's what I read here. MLB owners made literally like no money last year, and the MLBPA is still trying to squeeze more out of them. Like somehow they're gonna make, billions of dollars. Most of these teams, when we broke it down like a month or two ago, don't make any damn money anyways.
No.
So it's like, what They can't give you more. You already have most of the pie. There's really nothing left over.
Yeah. At what point would you ever, like, say salaries just keep going up? Do you think at some point we have, say, a Bobby Witt Jr.? I know he's locked up, but let's say a Bobby Witt Jr. hits free agency and he wants that Juan Soto money. He wants that Shohei Ohtani money. And all 32 teams at the time, right, when he's available for just to be a free agent, they all just go, no. Like we can't, right? And then like nobody signs him. Like Bobby Witt Jr. doesn't sign with the team because the market isn't there. Is there a time where that could actually happen? If there's no cap, if this just keeps going and going and going.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if every team independently evaluates the player and says you're not worth that, then yeah, you could see that stop. But the hard part is there's always that one team. And I know we pick on the Dodgers because they're guilty of it, but other teams have done so with some of these crazy contracts. If one team's willing to give it to you, well, then there you go. But the hard part is that you've now reached a point where we did the math that day, was it 18 of 30 MLB teams?
Yeah.
Can't afford to sign any of the free agents in the upper tier. Like,
Right.
just can't do it. It'd be too much payroll for one team to take on. And I don't disagree. 30, 40 million bucks a year for a guy when you've only got a payroll of 125, 150 million. It's kind of hard to give 20% of your payroll to one guy in a sport where one guy doesn't make that big a difference.
Right.
Like it doesn't, this is not the NFL where like the best quarterback wins, or the NBA where if you've got the best shooter, the best big man, you can write your ticket to the playoffs. One guy in MLB has a way smaller impact than in other sports.
Yep. Agree. Chad said floor and eliminate deferred contracts. The cap will take care of itself. Agree. Got the floor and the cap. Now we need the walls to keep the Dodgers in their lane and not deferring anything or everything. Aaron's with us with the, eliminate deferred contracts. And I think that would come with, I hope that would come with the salary cap. Their franchise values went up though. Yeah, the values of the franchises went up, but they lost collectively. They lost, what was it, 1.5 billion last year?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. 1.8 billion. I forget. We covered it, but I mean, value is one thing. The value of the franchise is one thing, because with that you're buying the franchise, the ballpark, or the rights to the ballpark, TV rights.
Right.
You're buying history. Like, there's a lot that goes into the value of a ball club, and that value only means anything if you sell it. But on an ongoing basis, these companies, these teams, these organizations don't actually make any money. You've got owners writing personal checks in to fund them, and at some point you're going to run out of billionaires who are willing to do that.
Yeah.
And you're going to see teams that you can't sell. I mean, we've seen teams on the market, and the Padres sold for a crazy record number. The Twins tried to sell and couldn't put it together. We had the Rays sold at a much lower value because, again, like that, it's not a market that supports a higher value. But you've got if you can't level the revenue, the only way to level the playing field is to level the salaries.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't have you've got the Dodgers making 3 times more than your teams at the bottom.
Right. Michael, this is a great point. They're fighting after the last piece of the pie, but without the fans, there is no pie. And you're not wrong. Yeah, Curtis, it's a pissing contest. It's the beginning of negotiations. The introductory conversation will sound pessimistic, ugly, but true. Meyer's just cutting an opening promo. I've learned not to let it bother me. It's the nature of the beast. And that's a fair point. Like, this could be like, hey, this is our initial, like, we can go back from this, but this is exactly what we want. No cap. It's clear as day right here. No cap. So, I mean, fair. So great point, Curtis.
To me, it's not about the salary cap and the opinion of it. It's more the tone of it.
Yeah.
It's the fact that the MLBPA is so focused on the owners and the commissioner's office not making any more money. It's not about the players making more money. It's not about the fans having a better experience. It's not about the game being better. It's about we can't let those owners make more money.
Yeah.
And they already don't make any money.
Right.
It's
And
all it's all about
like
franchise value.
like you said, it's nothing pro for his guys. It's he's pointing the finger across the table. Is all he's doing.
It exactly. It is like one of those things where I'm willing to cut off my arm if I can cut yours off too.
Yeah.
Like the tone of it sucks.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucks.
I agree. So he looks like an angry John Smoltz in the photo. But yeah. Either way, it's not going to be pretty. I will be shocked if we see any baseball. At what point do you think that they just kibosh the entire year? Do you think if it gets to July 1st and we're still not sitting baseball, they just cancel the rest of the year? Because by the time you come in and you warm guys up, it's going to be August. You're going to have a month and a half of baseball.
I don't think they'll call it dead until they know for a fact they can't get games in. Because to them, even a month of the season is something. The players are going to want to get paid. The owners are going to want to make some money. Because at the end of the day, that's what this entire debate is about. It's how do we carve up all this money between us? But that's the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
It's all about the money. And that's like we've heard many guys on the show, some of the minor leaguers talk about, when you get to see the business side of baseball, it kind of disgusts you with baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Fans are getting a front row seat to it right now.
Yep.
Nobody here gives a damn about the game of baseball.
No.
They just don't care. Baseball's just the conduit to make money.
Yeah. And Marty, where are you going where your family only costs just a little over $200 to go to a game? Sign me up for that. But yeah, Fenway Park, if you have a family of 4, you're not leaving there without dropping a G. Easy.
I mean, yeah, $200 doesn't even get you tickets to the game.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy. Opening day 2020 was July 23rd, so they have a lot of time. I mean, that's a fair point for us, but I mean, how much longer? Like, can you go into that? You know what I mean? Like, can you start the season August 1st? They only had a 60-game schedule starting on July 23rd. So can you go any shorter than 60 games? Like, are we going to be talking about 2027 baseball where it's a 45-game season?
And I
don't know.
And I question how long the players can hold out. And I question that for a couple of reasons. One, financially, these guys are going to want to get paid. They're not as wealthy as the owners in most cases. So that's number one. Number two is if I'm Aaron Judge and I'm in my mid 30s, I don't want to lose a whole friggin' year over this because in 4 or 5 years when I'm gone, be damned what happens to baseball after that. But I'm not losing my Hall of Fame candidacy because you assholes want to argue over another $1 million. I want to get on that field and put up numbers.
That's fair. You take a full season out of Aaron Judge, does he get the 600 homer mark that we're thinking he could possibly get to? Like, that's
a lot of these guys.
That's a huge. Damn, I didn't even really put
Aaron
that
Judge,
together yet.
If I'm Bryce Harper, if I'm Shohei, like if I'm these guys, I'm thinking I'm building a legacy here. I'm not going to argue over another $1 million. I don't care. Get me on the field.
Yeah. Whew. Crazy.
I don't think the players will be able to hold out as long as Meyer thinks they can.
Yeah. Curtis Fair. I don't think they'll kill it completely. Worst case, no season. Least case, early June. Best case, right on time. Yeah. I mean, I think ultimately we're with you. I'm just asking, like, where is that threshold? Like, when do they get to where they're just like, okay, like we're ready to go August 1st, but we only got time for 45 games. Like, do they just say, hey, we'll just try again in 28 at that point? Or do they really try to cram in 40 games? I don't know.
I mean, hell, in 2001, we played the World Series in November. So, I mean, we could, if they had to, they could, they could start on August 1st and probably still get 60 games in and just push the playoffs back.
Yeah, another guy, Ed, great call. No, sorry, Chris Sale, no 3,000. Yeah, I mean, so many guys right on the cusp. But
some of these guys are going to be like, I don't care. I want to get on the field.
Yeah. Marty, my point is, why do fans continue to pay outrageous amounts to go to games? The fans are the paying customers. I don't go to games anymore. And it's facts. Like, I mean, I go because I love it, but like I'm like in the last seat in the, you know, upper deck in left center field, paying my $40, right? Like, and I take pictures of the game. They're like, "Hey, why are you sitting so far away?" Oh, because I'm not paying $375 to sit behind home plate. Like, that's silly to me, right?
Yep.
Like, I can still go get a baseball atmosphere in the upper deck, in the bleachers, wherever. Like, there still are seats to be had, but to your point, it still is astronomical, and there's no reason for it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't go to as many as I would love to because they are expensive. I only go to maybe one or two a year if I'm lucky. You know, it's all, you know, AAA, AA around here, and those games are completely affordable. And I'll go to many of those in a summer. So
Yeah, I could take a
yeah,
family of 4 to the or a family of 5 to the Portland Sea Dogs for friggin' $100.
yeah, yep. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, don't go to Fenway, go to Worcester, 1,000%, right? I mean, it's so much cheaper. I haven't been to an Astros game in a while. I live about 2 hours north of Houston, so it's a trip for me to go to again. Right. I mean, and a lot of MLB fan bases do travel to get to their games, and then you're asking them to pay another $200 to get into the gate is wild. So, I don't know where this ends. And there's so much on the table that I don't even know if I can come up with where the compromise is going to be. Like, where is this middle ground? If both sides concede just a little bit, what does it look like?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, they both sides seem so dug in, but more importantly to me on this one was just the tone of his comments was the fact that it's literally like, we just don't want those guys to get any more.
Yeah.
It wasn't about getting more for his guys. It wasn't about the competitiveness. It wasn't about the game. It was strictly about we can't let those guys get any more. It's like that's a pretty crappy way to get started.
Brutal.
And it's a good point, Curtis. Like millionaires versus billionaires, and Kyle Tucker sucks. Kyle Tucker has been a huge disappointment in LA, just like he was last year in Chicago. Not all these huge contracts work out.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't care if he's there or not. So there's
Well, and I think that's the case. I think that is true. Like that team is a wagon, regardless of whether or not he's good.
yeah. Yeah. It's wild. But